Hello everyone, it's RareTotem here once again with a new ranking video for all of the units this time for the Cyberpunk TCG. Last video I did the legends, and this time I'm doing all 20 units that you can play with right now. I decided to do all 20 instead of just breaking them up by color like my initial plan was going to be. But green and blue only have 4 apiece, and I thought it would be silly to just do a video ranking 4 cards. So I'm doing all 20, so this video might be a little bit long like the last one, so I apologize. I will have timestamps to break up each of the color categories if you're looking for a particular color cards and where they rank, or if you just skip to the end of this tier list video just to see where I put them all, that's fine too. But you will miss out on my explanations as to why they place where they do. And I'm just shooting off the cuff on this one. Don't have a script or anything like that, so I'm just going to give you my thoughts and feelings on how I've felt about each of these cards as I've played them. I've got 5 categories here. We've got the meta big dogs, we've got the strong cards, we've got the not bad / has potential cards, which are kind of the cards that are, you know, in the middle of the pack. They're playable now and they're decent, and they could probably be a lot better if some of these have effects. There are quite a few cards in the alpha decks that have no effects whatsoever. They're just vanilla cards, and they might likely get effects when the game really comes out. That's my assumption, is that they'll change them and give them effects to make them more interesting and not just bland vanilla units. Who knows, but I think they could have some potential there. So that's reserved for this category. The next one we have are the right now not great, but with support could be good cards. Essentially, in my testing, they kind of don't do so good right now if you're playing with everything that's been released. But if there are more fleshed out cards, which I'm sure there will be more fleshed out tribes and things like that, like Arasaka, Netrunners, that sort of thing, these cards in this category could potentially shoot up here to be strong. Just right now, they're not that great. And then of course we have the do not play it's bait cards, where you should not play them because they are bait. So I'm gonna start from left to right, pretty much going through the red, then the yellow, and then the green, and then the blue cards. And I have the card database here, so we can look at each one and be able to read them and go over their effects a little bit more, and I could talk about my experiences playing them and why I think they are where they are on my list so far. So starting with our first one, the big hulking brute, the Armored Minotaur for red. If this opens up, here we go. So 6 cost, 9 power, so 1 away from taking 2 gigs a turn when it attacks. 4 RAM, so it's pretty expensive. In the alpha kits straight up, it's technically illegal, I think, because there's only the 1 red leader, but now there's more than one, so you can play them. When you play it, if you have 12 street cred, you instantly defeat a rival unit with 5 power or less, which is a great way to give you some tempo and clear something out for the board. It is only 5 power, so you're not going to be getting rid of any jackies or any other big guys like this. But if they have an annoying blocker, you can get rid of that. If they have a T-Bug or something else with only 5 power, you can take out one of their attackers too. The best way to get to use this is for those annoying blockers if they have one set up and give you just a free reign on their stuff. But I'm putting this guy just straight off. We're starting pretty strong here. I'm going to put him in the strong category. Next we have Ruthless Lowlife. Let's go back here to Ruthless Lowlife. He's an Arasaka Merc. He is 2 cost with 1 power, so pretty weak, but also very cheap. And when a rival steals 1 or more friendly gigs, if this unit is spent, the value of those gigs becomes 1. Now I've gone back and forth on this card quite a bit. I do run an aggro deck that is red and yellow, and one of the main points of that deck is to run a bunch of cheap costed units, which he is. And I've had games where I've dropped 3 Ruthless Lowlifes in 1 turn, and then the next turn I'm stealing 3 gigs. It doesn't matter how much power they have. As long as they have one, they can steal a gig. So sometimes a bigger body, a bigger body's great, but sometimes you just want to go wide, and that's where this guy kind of excels. I debated putting him in strong, but for right now, I'm going to put him in not bad / has potential, because he also has the same problem that one of the blue cards has, the blue counterpart, where he gets hard stuck going up against one of these blockers that you have, because they have 2 power, he only has 1. But you can pump him up with gear. He's also an Arasaka unit, so if you have the Arasaka leader in green that pumps him up by 1 on your turn, you can attack over those blockers. There's ways to make this guy work. I've also had games where his effect went into play for so long that almost every single gig almost had a value of 1. So nobody had like any street credit. It was really funny to see a game like that happen. It was pretty rare, and you're probably not going to encounter that too much, but this thing can add up pretty quick, and pretty soon you'll be like, dang man, nobody has any street cred, and it could really cause problems for some of those creatures, or units, sorry, that have a much higher street cred requirement. Next up, we have El Sombreron. He's one of the newer ones. I don't have too much experience using him, but in the bit that I have done, he does have a flashy effect. 4 cost, 4 power, also 4 RAM, so he's pretty expensive, so you have to be heavily invested in red. When he attacks a rival unit, double his power. So if you have gear on him, if you have Mantis Blades to turn him into a 6, he becomes a 12, and so on and so forth. So he can get pretty beefy, but only when he's attacking another unit. And right now, it's not bad, but I don't think it's great. I feel like if there's more stuff that rewards you for killing units, I know we have the Satori equipment that lets you draw a card when you kill a unit, which is great on him, great synergy there, but I feel like he needs a little bit more to make him worthwhile. There could be an argument made to put him a little bit higher on this for the not bad has potential, but I feel like for that type of effect of just going after units, he needs a little bit more support and a little bit more fleshed out before I can say yay or nay on this guy. Going up next, we have Meredith Stout, Stone Cold Corpo. 4 cost again, and 3 power. When a rival decreases the value of 1 or more friendly gigs, you can choose a card from your trash and add it to your hand. A really, really cool effect. Graveyard recursion or trash recursion, very powerful ability, and can be a tremendous source of value. The big problem here is that requirement where a rival decreases the value of 1 or more friendly gigs, and there's not really much in the game right now that would cause that to happen. There are a few cards. You have like the Lizzie's After Party, which will reduce it, but the problem here is that it's usually bad to have cards that rely on your opponent doing something for them to work, because they're going to see this on the field and they're going to know, oh, if I play this, then I'm just going to give my opponent value. Why would I change the value of one of your gigs when you're just going to return something to your hand from the trash? So they're going to see this coming. There's no surprise to it, and you're probably not going to really get this effect going off. 1, because there's just limited effects that do this right now, and 2, it's just telegraphed to your opponent, so they're just not going to do the thing you want them to do. So I'm putting it right now. Not great. With support, could be good if there are more cards that rely on that, which I'm sure there will be, that will affect changing gig die values. But right now, I just don't see it. Coming up next, we have my boy Carry Uridine, and I love this card. I'm just gonna put him straight up right now in strong. Get out of here, Minotaur. He's going into strong. He costs 4. He has 3 power. The attacking, I don't really care about. It's the effect that's really, really good. if you have a gig at max value, which admittedly can be difficult, but if you have, you know, a D4, it's not too hard to get that pumped up to 4. Draw 2 cards if you have a gig at max value. Now, I don't know if you realize this or not, but according to the rules, you can use the effects of cards the same turn you play them. You can't attack. So I know most people, if you play Magic or something, you can't tap a card the same turn you play it, unless it has haste. But in this game, it doesn't say anything about it. It says you can use the abilities, and this here looks like an ability. So I've told a couple people, and it seems to work that way. You could play this card from your hand and then immediately use his effect if you have it, so you're drawing 2 cards from playing this guy. And if you keep him out on the field every turn with a max gig, you're drawing 2 cards. He can get you 4, 6, 8 if he's out for so long. You might need a blocker or something on the field to keep it from getting targeted, because your opponent will want to take this guy out ASAP because he's such a great value engine. But if you can keep him on the field for a while, if you get 2 uses out of this guy for 4 cards, that's insane. That's a Dum Dum equivalent, and Dum Dum, I've already said in the other video, is amazing to draw 4, and this guy can get you way more than that if you have more than one of him in your deck, and if you can get multiple procs off throughout the whole game. Crazy. I've had 2 on the field at once, and I've had them both spent to draw 4 cards on a turn, which could duck you out, but it's a risk. But man, the value from this guy is just too good. So he's in strong. Next up, we have the first vanilla card in the lineup. It is Swordwise Hustle, and this is one I think could have an effect, just like the yellow equivalent from the Street Kid, whatever they call it, deck. I can't remember the name of it. The counterpart for that one, which we'll talk about shortly. 3 cost, 5 power, so pretty decent there as far as the 1-for-1 kind of lineup. You generally want at least 1 power for each Eddie you have to spend, which of course you're getting way more. It also has Arasaka, so it's a part of that tribe. So if you have the red leader that lets you draw a card and discard a card for attacking with an Arasaka unit, you get value there. If you have the green one that gives it +1 attack on your turn, you get some value there. So this has some synergies, which make it pretty decent right now. I still feel it's kind of run-of-the-mill. I will put it in... see, this is where I get kind of tripped up, because I love, even though you might think the Luther's Low Life is just a nothing card, it's weak, just being cheap. I mean, between 2 or 3, I'll put her above him. I'll put her above him for now. So yeah, these will be the red cards here. We have Carry Urdine as the best, and then Merida Stout, and then Elsamburon, kind of just the we'll see category, so to speak. All right, next up here, we're going to go over all of the yellow cards. And yellow is the most dominant color in the game currently. It has way more cards in it than all the others, not combined, but in comparison here. You can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, compared to 4, and red has 6 too. So, but it has way more gear associated with it. So yellow, mono yellow is kind of the king. There's some splashing you can do, but yellow is like the dominant color right now, in my opinion. And here's the reason why. You already know. Meta Big Dog, the man, the myth, the legend, Jackie Wells, Ride or Die Choom, 6 power, but he's got a great ability for 6 cost, and that is he gets +2 power for each of your friendly gigs. So the turn you play him, you have at least 1 friendly gig on the board before it gets stolen, meaning he comes in as an 8 power, and he only costs 6, which is pretty insane. And at that point, when it's turn about 3 or so, when you're playing this guy, more likely than not, you will have at least 2 friendly gigs by the time you can attack with this guy, meaning he's going to be at 10 power, and you're going to be stealing 2 gigs when you use him. There are so many other videos and analysis that you can read into about how great this card is. I don't think I need to go much deeper than what other people have talked about with this guy. Just know that He is the biggest meta big dog right now. He is untouchable for the most part. Next up, we have our first blocker, the secondhand Bombus in yellow, which they are a 2 power and 2 cost blocker unit. It cannot attack, so it's basically a wall, and that's perfectly fine. Blocker is a very powerful ability, so I'm putting it in strong. Maybe not strong physically, but being able to tank an attack from something like a Jackie or something that's about to steal 2 or even 3 gigs from you, and you're able to chump block it with a Bombus or the green version, the Corpo Security, pretty damn good. So everybody will be running the blockers. Blocker is one of the most important keywords right now, if not the most important. And we'll just see how the game develops with that when it comes out fully, but definitely going to be considered in the strong category, in my opinion. Next up, we have the yellow vanilla unit, which is T-Bug. 3 cost, 5 power, again, pretty good. Pretty good middle of the rotor. Could have an effect when the game fully comes out, we don't know. I will do a small caveat to say Swordwise Hustle does have the edge over it because it has the synergy with the Arasaka tribe. So if you're running an Arasaka deck and when more Arasaka cards are released, at least right now, Swordwise Hustle kind of edges out slightly. If you're doing a mono yellow deck though, T-Bug's still great. I mean, yellow's the color right now, in my opinion, so they're pretty close, but I'm going to give the edge slightly to Swordwise Hustle if you really care about where they stack up. Alright, next we've got one of my personal favorites. The art's amazing, the effect is amazing, this card is amazing in my opinion. Nako Arasaka, she's 3 cost, 0 power, so useless on the board unless you equip her with something. But when you play her, you reveal the top 4 cards from your deck, you choose a friendly gig, and add all cards with the cost equal to that gig's value to your hand, and you trash the rest. Very potent ability. Sometimes it can whiff. If you do not have a gig at all, or just ones that have way too high a value or way too low a value, you could be kind of screwing yourself playing it. But the amount of card cycle and draw it can give you, if you're looking for something in a pinch, which I've had many times, I need a 4 cost, and a lot of times you'll find you have a 4 gig pretty often. I'm putting her in meta big dogs because, man, sometimes it's just good. It's just good value. Every time you play her, you could throw a mandibular upgrade on her, give her a blocker. You can put Mantis Blades on her to let her attack a little bit if you really want to, but being able to look through 4 cards and then pick the one you need at that moment, as long as you have the proper friendly gig, that is the caveat to it. But I think despite that limitation, very good effect, and most of the time you will be hitting something that you need and can win you the game. This card will win you games at times. It has for me. And I just feel like she's just super good for what she does. Card draw is amazing. Her, Carry Uridine, both amazing effects for that reason. Next up is the newest one that they have revealed, Caliber, which this is the one that I have obviously the least experience using overall because it's the newest one. But it's a very interesting effect. So it's 4 RAM, so you're gonna need to be heavily into yellow. It costs 5 to play with 6 power, which is pretty good. And once it's defeated, a rival discards 1. And if the card's cost is equal to the value of a friendly gig, they have to discard 1 more, which 2 cards they have to discard is pretty powerful of an ability. Now, of course, going back to what we talked about with Meredith Stout, you have to rely on your opponent choosing one that they're gonna have to be like, oh, well, now I have to discard 2. So they're not gonna just let you do that to them. They're gonna pick something that they would only have to discard 1 for most of the time, unless they just have absolutely no choice. So at least you're discarding 1 from their hand. which is cool because you can freely attack with this, and you kind of don't care if they're going to destroy this with one of their attackers next turn, because then they're going to be hurting themselves. One card, in the grand scheme of things, might not be that big of a deal, but when it comes to the end of the game and both players' hands are pretty depleted because you're trying to put everything out on the board as much as possible to give yourself the biggest board state, losing a card could cost you a game if it's a key card that you've been holding on to specifically. So it has a lot of potential, in my opinion. I would like to see how it develops over time. I do think still, even though you have that agency where the opponent can just say, nah, I'm not going to let you discard 2 of mine, if they cannot help it, it's still a pretty good effect. I'd like to see more potential for it in the future. I'm sure we'll get more cards that will feed into that type of discard and control, because that's my favorite type of archetype of deck is board control and hand disruption, things of that sort. So I do like that effect and that it's in the game, and hopefully we'll get more of that. All right, and the last card from the yellow is, of course, what I think is one of the coolest looking cards in the whole set, Atom Smasher. He is 9 cost with 15 power, so he's stealing 2 every time he attacks and it gets through. He costs 5 yellow RAM, so you have to be mono yellow right now to legally play this guy. And when you play him, he wipes the entire board except for him, which is cool. He is the only board wipe in the game like that. And unfortunately, he is also the bait card. I can't even bring myself to really say it. But I will. He sucks. Atom Smasher sucks in this game right now. I hate to say it, but man, you were getting this guy out on the last 1 or 2 turns of the game, and that turn you play him, he wipes your entire board too, not just your opponent's, and he can't attack the turn you play him. And if you play this guy and your opponent has some kind of thing, like another card that I'm going to talk about, and they use it on this guy, you're just cost yourself the game. This is so bad because you have to play him and then you can't even attack with anything. There's no main phase 2 after you declare attackers, so you have to play this guy before you declare your attacks, and then once you do play him, you can attack. So you're just giving it up. So you better be in the lead when you play this guy, or you just straight up can't play him because you're going to lose the game because you're not going to be able to attack with anything. It's bad. It's just bad right now. Now, I am hoping that there will be cards and mechanics that can kind of cheat big guys like this out. Maybe some ramp or something that would help, because otherwise, waiting to the end of the game to play this guy just to destroy your own board and you can't even attack with him the same turn, it's terrible. It's just bad. If this guy had a thing where he attacks the same turn, maybe that'd be too OP, but man, or there's some gear that lets you do that, maybe? I don't know. Even then, you'd barely even be able to afford it, probably. I don't know. This guy just does not work. It's so tragic. The art's so cool, and of course, Atom Smasher's huge antagonist in the game. He's supposed to be this big, hulking, scary guy. And in the card game, man, he's just not good. He's just not. Do not play this man. Do not play Atom Smasher, please. He's bait right now. I hope they can turn it around, but man, right now, he's just not it. Do not do it. Do not do it. All right, leading into the next color, we have yellow. Or I'm sorry, not yellow, green. Green, we have Corpo Security, which is the green's secondhand Bombus, their blocker. Cost 2 power, can attack. He's good, same up there with him. No real difference between them except which color identity they're under. Green right now is lacking, in my opinion, probably maybe the weakest right now. But there's really no difference between those two. Alright, next we have the Emergency Atlas, which is another one of the vanilla ones, and the other deck has a direct counterpart to this. 4 cost, 7 power. It's a vehicle. No effect. decent strength, so it's not bad to throw out on the board. If you put something like a mandibular upgrade on this to have a big 7 power blocker, pretty good. I think it's pretty good. I'm gonna put these slightly above the Swordwise Hustle and T-Bug, but they're all like all of the vanilla cards, kind of in that same power level, I think. So he's gonna go there, and we're gonna lead into the next one here, which I'm going back and forth heavily onto, which is Goro Takamura. And he costs 4. You get 5 power when you play him, and he has an ability here, which sounds great on paper. This unit gets +1 power on your turn for each face-up legend in your legends area. So, as you know, you have 3 legends in your deck, and if all 3 are face-up during your turn, he's gonna have 8 power, which is pretty cool, right? Not bad. If you have the Arasaka legend too, he'll have 9. And if you have any equipment on him, he'll get over to 10. And that's pretty good for a 4 cost, right? Except here's the thing. He is bait. I think he's bait. He's either in right now not great, but with support could be good, to do not play, it's bait. Now you may be thinking, oh, what the heck? I don't know, this is good, and it's also Goro, so it's also another tragic circumstance here, but going back to the one we just looked at, Emergency Alice, 4 cost 7 power. Goro Takamura, 4 cost 5 power? So you have to have 2 legends face up on your turn, and not in play, so if it's a go solo, that's out. So you have to have 2 face up legends in your legends area to make him a +7. To put him on par with Emergency Alice. And not only that, the worst part about it, the worst part, is that it's during your turn, and that's it. So he doesn't even get that benefit the whole time, so you have to spend 4 eddies to call 2 different legends just to get this guy to match an Emergency Alice. And then when it's your opponent's turn, he just has 5 power again, and they can throw a T-Bug at it. They could throw a Swordwise Hustle with no equipment on it whatsoever. What the hell is this? This guy is not good. I know it seems flashy and it seems cool, but man, I'm sorry, he is bait. Goro is a bait card. And maybe better. Nah, he's bait. He's bait. I hate to do it, but it's just not, like, when you compare these two, I mean, come on, man. Come on, man. It's just, what are they doing? Moving along, we have the best green unit, and a pretty decent one of my favorites. I do like the Nomads. You have a 6 cost, 6 power riding Nomad. And this one is pretty cool because this unit can attack spent rival units the turn it's played. So he's got a little bit of a haste effect. Granted, of course, you can only attack something that's spent on your opponent's side of the field, and it has to be, well, it doesn't have to be something like a T-Bug or Swordwise Hustle, but it's not, you're not going to be, you know, killing a Jackie or anything with this guy. But it's not bad to be able to just instantly surprise your opponent with something, you know, when they weren't expecting it. You know, you're in the middle game, they may have a Jackie out, they might have a T-Bug or something that they've swung with the previous turn, and you can get a sneaky attack off on it and knock it out and give yourself some tempo. So I do like this card. It does have some potential, but I'm just going to put it kind of in the middle of the pack right there right now. I like it, but it's just not, it just doesn't have like that X factor like a lot of these other ones kind of have right now, in my opinion. Alright, so we got the last color here, we got blue, and we will start with the Delamain Cab, which is the blue version of the Emergency Atlas. It's also just a vehicle, no secondary subtype, but that's alright. 4 cost, 7 power. Like I said with the other one, not bad. Nice beat stick. Really good if you throw a mandibular upgrade on it to give it a blocker. It'll put the Swordwise Hustle and T-Bug, stop them in their tracks. Even something like the Riding Nomad that has 6 power, or the Caliber. They can't touch it. So Nice little wall if you want, or just to straight up attack with it. Not bad too. It only costs 4, so it's pretty cheap. Vanilla, no ability, but who cares? Maybe it'll have one in the future. We'll find out. Coming up next, we have the, oh god, the MT0D12 Flathead. And it is a 5 cost, 5 power Miltech drone. If you have 7 street cred, this unit can't be blocked. So we have an unblockable unit, and it's the only one in the game that's like that. And I think it's pretty damn good. I think it's pretty damn strong. Because, you know, you get these blockers. I've gone against people who like to just throw pretty much 3 copies of corporate security, 3 copy of secondhand bombas, and then they have mandibular upgrades, so they have a bunch of people blocking to keep you from stealing their gigs, and this guy just says, nah, I'm just gonna steal it anyways. I like it. I like it. He's not as strong as I'd like. I wish he had a little bit more power than this, but being able to just get through whatever they have to steal a gigs, and sometimes it'll save your life. I have played games where they had 6 and I was about to have to pass turn, but thankfully I had this guy in the field and I could attack and steal a gig and keep them from winning the game, even though they've had a corporate security up and a bombus or something like that up, and you can't just attack with anything else. This guy will save your ass sometimes, so pretty strong ability. All right, we have Evelyn Parker. Evelyn Parker is the Ruthless Lowlife of the Street Kid deck, and she costs 2, so she's cheap, and 1 a power. And when a rival steals 1 or more friendly gigs, if this unit is spent, you draw a card. I love drawing cards. Everybody loves drawing cards. Drawing cards is great. Drawing cards is good. And if you use her and you get her ability off, pretty valuable. I kind of want to put her down here too with Ruthless Lowlife, but she's definitely, oh man, for the value of drawing the card, she's better than Ruthless Lowlife. I personally like Ruthless Lowlife more because of the synergy with the red cards. You have the Arasaka synergy there, and the aggro that I do is red-yellow and not blue-yellow, but I can't deny that being able to draw cards if you get this off, it's a great deterrent where your opponent is going to want to take her out instead of taking one of your gigs, because why would they want you to draw a card? So if you want to kind of use a cheeky play on your opponent and they have to make a tough choice, making you draw a card or stealing a gig could save your life. And also, going back to Ruthless Lowlife, she's cheap, so if you get her out turn 1, you can attack with her, and if you have a bunch of these in your deck, you can play, even if you have her and Ruthless Lowlife, a bunch of 2-cost stuff if you're going aggro to go wide and being as efficient as possible. I've seen it work. It's kind of rare, but I've seen it do some work, so I'll put her here. All right, the last unit that we have to talk about is Placide Voodoo Sentinel. He is an 8 cost, so he's almost as expensive as Adam Smasher, who was 9, but you'll get this guy out a turn sooner. He has 10 power, so he's stealing 2 gigs, so that's big, and he's got an amazing effect. Amazing effect. When you play him or attack with him, this ability triggers. You may discard a program from your hand, and if you do, you bottom deck a rival unit. And man, oh man, is this a big dog, in my opinion. He is the answer to Jackie. He requires a program, which there aren't so many, but you have, After Party at Lizzie's, you got Reboot Optics, you've got a couple others in here, Corporate Surveillance if you wanted to, you have Cyber Psychosis if you really wanted to. You've got options here for this guy's ability to go off, and if they had, say they have 2 Jackies, you can bottom deck 1, and then you might eat an attack from 1 or block with a Bombus or something in your field, and then you attack with this guy, and then you just bottom deck again if you have another program. So the only thing there is that you have to have a couple programs in your hand, but this is where Hanako Arasaka comes into play. You just hope you go for like a 4 cost, because a lot of the programs cost 4 or 2. No, it's 2. Sorry, I'm thinking 4 is for gear, for some of these gears, but After Party Lazies cost 2, Cyber Psychosis cost 2, Weewood Optics cost 2, Corporate Surveillance cost 2. Lord's 3, that one's an exception, but if you have a gig that's value 2, you pick that 2, and you proc her ability, and hope you get some of those programs, and I've had a couple times where I do, and I have a nice big handful of programs to make Placide's ability go off multiple times, and it is the answer to Jackie. It is harder to do than just straight up playing a Jackie card, because Jackie will come out 2 turns before this guy most of the time, and he'll, you know, blow this guy out of the water power for power. But if they got a Jackie in the field, you just play this guy and it's gone. At least one of theirs. If they have more than one, you might be in trouble, but if they put all, you know, gorilla arms and all kinds of stuff onto their Jackie, and you say, nope, bye-bye. Best removal in the game. Way better than Atom Smasher with the board wipe, because this isn't affecting your stuff. Who cares if you need a program to do it? You'll have one in your hand. You just save them and wait for this guy. Come the turn, you can pay for the 8 and play him. Yeah, the drawback is you have to wait till one of your last turns to play him, but just make your deck as a stall deck until you can get to the end of the game. And then there you go. Bye-bye, Jackie. Hello, Placide. Alright, so to go over this again, we've got my meta big dogs, which are Jackie Wells, Placide, and Hanako Arasaka. The Do Not Play Its Bait is the Goro Takamura, and Atom Smasher. Sadly, he is the bait card, and you can see where everybody else kind of lines up. A nice little bell curve here. That really wasn't my intent, but that's just kind of how it happened. So that's where we're at. I hope you guys enjoyed watching this. Sorry if I rambled for so damn long, but that's just kind of my intention with this. You just kind of go off the cuff with it, a little more casual than just a scripted, stilted thing. I do plan on doing more organized videos in the future, but for right now, I just wanted to get all of these out. I will be doing next the programs and the gear in one last video to complete the 3, and then from there I might go into some deck tech videos and try to get some gameplay recorded and show some of that off. And yeah, so if you have any suggestions for content you'd be interested in seeing, or if you have any, you know, advice for me in my videos as I try to work on these and kind of make my way through and figure things out as I go, I greatly appreciate it. Thanks so much for anybody who's tuned in this long, and I will see you all next time. Have a good one.